Hello everyone. Here we will see what is the difference between thread based program and normal Java program. First we will see the program without creating a thread. So as per that I am defining a user defined class VIT which is having a method run which is performing some action, that is displaying the statement obj1 displays, then which is having for loop which is executing for 3 times, each time which is displaying the statement welcome. After displaying first iteration, then it is introducing 1000 milliseconds thread, that means delay, which is introducing the delay for 1000 milliseconds up, that is equivalent to 1 second. Then if there is any exception, it is handling by using the try catch exception handling method. Likewise, I am going to define another user defined class ap, which is having its own run method which is performing another action, just displaying obj2 display statement which is having the for loop executing 3 times, each time which is displaying the word u, and when it is displaying u, for each time it is introducing 1000 milliseconds delay by using sleep method. Here also which is using try catch exception handling method to handle any exception is occurred. Now we are having two user defined classes, one is vit, another one is ap. Both are having its own run method which are performing it own different actions by using run method. Here thread ex is the driver class which is having main method. Inside the main method I am creating two objects, one is obj1 by using the first user defined class vit, then obj2 second object I am creating by using the class ap. Now I am going to call the run method which is belonging to vit by using the object obj1. Once it is invoking the run method, the control is passing over here, just it is displaying this action obj1, this one displays 3 times welcome, right? So 3 times it is displaying, then obj2 is called here. So this is calling the method run from the class uap. So here you see which is executing this run method obj2 displays, then which is executing the first iteration u, then it is introducing 1000 milliseconds, then second time which is executing again same statement will be displayed, then again it is introducing 1000 milliseconds, then third time it is executing u, then again which is introducing 1000 milliseconds. Here the difference is the first object is displaying all the iterations first, then the second object is executing. Okay, so here this object is waiting until the completion of the first object. So that is the normal java program execution procedure. We will see the uh, uh, execution here. In the command prompt you see, when I am running the java program, the welcome is first displaying, and each time which is waiting for another object for 1000 milliseconds. You see between the each iteration which is introducing delay 1000 milliseconds, first it is displaying obj1, then only obj2 is displaying. So like this, here the object 1 is displaying first, then the object 2 is displaying. So object 2 is waiting until the completion of the object 1 process. Here we observed that delay is introduced, that means object 1 is executed first, then only object 2 is executed. So there is no parallel processing. So the parallel processing is not done without thread facilities. Suppose if you introduce the thread, then object 2 will not wait for object 1 completion. So we will see by introducing the thread concept here. The thread is created by extending the built-in class thread. Here the user defined class is vit, what we have used in the previous example. So here run method is performing here the same process. First thread is creating by using the obj1, which is displaying the welcome, then which is introducing 1000 milliseconds for each iteration. Like that, here second user defined class is created, which is extending the built-in class thread, so which is represented by visual representation. Thread user defined thread is extending the built-in class thread, which is having its own run method, which is also performing some action. That action is here second thread, which is carrying obj2, just displaying u for each iteration. The delay is introduced for 1000 milliseconds. Then driver class is created, thread ex2. Inside the main method, you see obj1 is created by using user defined class vit. Then here the visual representation is given, so obj1 is created by using the thread user defined class vit here. Then obj2 is created by using the another user defined class ap, which is also having the facilities of thread concept. Then now obj1 is started and obj2 also started, so parallelly it will process. Here obj1 is started, you see obj1 starts and executing automatically. The obj1 belongs to vit, so this vit having its run method. Already we know, once the java api starts the invoking start method, implicitly run method will execute. The run method belonging to obj1 belongs to vit, so this run method will perform, right? First it is displaying the statement welcome, then which is introducing 1000 milliseconds delay. In this time the cpu is idle, okay, so it is not performing any process because the 1000 milliseconds is introduced as a delay. So in this 1000 milliseconds, this obj2 will start and use that cpu. Because cpu is idle now, that cpu will be allocated to another thread obj2, which is calling start method, which is belonging to the class ap. So ap is having its own run method, so this run method will execute. So in this 1000 milliseconds, cpu will be allocated to another thread obj2. Here the obj2 is having the statement second thread obj2 u, it will display now, which is displaying, introducing 1000 milliseconds, which is introducing 1000 milliseconds. Now cpu will be idle in this thread, okay. So now you see, in this place this 1000 milliseconds keep on reduce one by one. Triple nine, 998, 997, so like this it will keep on decrease until 0. Once it reaches 0, then again this for loop will execute second iteration, okay. In meanwhile, this 1000 milliseconds also will reduce here 1999 until 0. So here this will process step by step. So here the first it will the thread obj1 reaches the 0, so second iteration will perform here. So second time this will execute first thread object 1 welcome, again it is introducing 1000 milliseconds, again it is reducing from 999 998 until 0. Meanwhile here it reached the 0, okay, obj2 reached the 0, so cpu will be allocated for second time, okay, for this process. So second iteration will be carrying on, it is displaying the u. So then again it is introducing 1000 milliseconds, so 1000, then triple nine, so like that it will come until 0. So meanwhile for the second iteration, in the first thread obj1 it reaches the 0, so again third iteration will be run, so again third time it will display welcome. Then again it is introducing here third time 1000 milliseconds, again it will start triple nine, okay, 998 until 0. Meanwhile it reached the 0, so obj2 reached the 0, so third time it is executing this one, display the statement. After that again 1000 milliseconds, 999, so it will keep on come until 0. Before that obj1 might reach the 0, so fourth time it will start to check the condition here, but it is beyond the condition 4 less than or equal to 3 is false, it will come out of the for loop right here. So like that, this also might reach the 0, so fourth time it will check the for loop, condition is false, it will come out of the loop, so all the statements are executed one by one. So now we will see the uh, execution of this program in command prompt. When you are running the program, you see first object is executing, then it is introducing delay. At the meantime, when the delay is introducing, the object 2 is that second thread is executing, then cpu will become idle for 1000 milliseconds. That idle time will be allocated to the first thread obj1, it is executing the second iteration. After second iteration it is introducing 1000 milliseconds sleep time. At that time cpu will be idle, so that idle time will be allocated to the object 2 is the second thread, so the second thread is executed. Then for the second thread 1000 milliseconds delay is introduced, so that in that delay time cpu will become idle, so cpu will be allocated to the first thread again, because that is in the active mode. So first thread obj1 will be executed for third iteration, then it is introducing 1000 milliseconds delay. So in that delay time the cpu will be allocated to the second thread obj2, so at that time it is performing the third iteration, again it is introducing 1000 milliseconds. Then fourth time the thread 1 obj1, okay, will be checking the fourth time for loop, but 4 less than or equal to 3, that condition will become false, it will come out. Like that thread 2 also will come out by checking the condition 4 less than or equal to 3. So, from these two examples, what we should observe in the sense, the facilities of thread is introducing the parallel processing of all the threads. So, here obj1 is the thread belonging to VIT and obj2 is the thread belonging to AP. Both are performing parallelly once the CPU is having the idle time. Okay, so cpu always should be used by any one of the process. So the object one is performing a process of displaying this statement, obj2 is the another thread which is performing different process by displaying this statement. So whenever the cpu becomes idle, automatically that cpu will be allocated to another process. That means always cpu should be utilized by any one of the process, that will be performing by thread scheduler and cpu scheduler tools. So both are built-in tools in the operating system. So based upon that, here the thread concept is introducing the parallel processing, that is it will utilize the cpu efficiently. But in normal java program, the first obj1 will be executed all the iterations, then only the obj2 will start to initiate the process. Until that obj2 will wait, right? So unnecessary, even though cpu becomes idle, the obj2 will wait until the completion of obj1. So unnecessary, the waiting time will be introduced here, and the processing time also will be increasing. So to avoid that, we can go for thread concept by introducing the parallel processing. Thanks for watching.